Alright everybody, I'm going to show you how to set up tracks. That way, God forbid, if something happens and I'm not here on a Sunday, I will pre-build tracks for you guys, but you will be able to get them turned on and going. So first thing you do is you come back here behind the drum cage, and this rack down here on the floor, you make sure this switch right here is powered on. And then you make sure this top guy right here also powered on, which I think it already, here we go. You make sure that's powered on as well. Okay, so that's super important, otherwise you're not going to get any audio. So this laptop belongs to the church. It will always be here. Okay, the password to it is literally 1, drag all the way to the 0, and then press enter and you'll be good to go. So you're going to come on here, and I will always have the set saved onto the computer here. You'll go ahead and click that, double click it. It opens up this here. It'll do this for every Sunday. You always want to click this one, the .als file. Double click that. It'll start to pull up Ableton. It'll also always give you this message. That's okay. Just make sure to press OK. Perfect. And then here is the set for Sunday. So once you get this pulled up, you want to make sure it's plugged into the charger, which will also always be back here. And then there's this cable that usually just tends to hang on the floor, which is fine, but it looks like this. Okay. And it is plugged into one of these things over here. So you're going to plug it into the side of the computer over here. Okay. Perfect. That is super, super important. You can't skip this step or you won't get any sound coming out of it. So we're in Ableton. You're going to come up here, click Live, click Preferences. It's going to open up this window. You'll click this audio tab if it's not clicked already, which right now is clicked already for you. You'll come to Audio Output Device, change it to Scarlett. Okay, and it should look like this. We're going to press that red X and come out of this. Now, the next step is you're going to want to come over here and make sure everything is routed correctly. So your click and cues always need to look like this. They need to say external out, and then you need to put them in the click channel for both the click and the cues. Okay? Now, for each individual song, you're going to want to click these 3 lines here and make sure that all of your instruments are being sent to where they need to be sent to. Okay, so for example, percussion, right? We've already got a drummer, so we're gonna make sure that this is mute. So right now it's unmuted because it's yellow. Pressing it to make it gray means it's muted. Okay, so percussion is just like extra. Usually it's like a tambourine or a shaker or something. Leave that unmuted, so you want it to be yellow. Make sure this says external out, and then you're going to put it in percussion. Okay, and see all of these different places that you can put stuff. Obviously they're pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so synth will go in synth, bass and bass, and all that kind of stuff. When you get down here into all of these different keys and that kind of thing, all of these keys can go in a synth channel. Bells, any of that kind of stuff, vocal loops, whatever, they can all go into a synth channel. So really, if you're ever in doubt, just put it in the synth channel. Make sure that the instruments that you actually have there on a Sunday morning, so like for example, if you've got a piano player, make sure piano is muted. Electric, and that one's kind of depending on who's playing electric and what parts they're playing. You want to make sure the correct electric guitar is muted. And then make sure, like we had a drummer this week, so make sure drums are muted, bass is muted, that kind of thing. And you want to do that for every single song. So the next thing that usually I have on pretty much every set, normally on our normal Sunday, we've got 1 song, vision, 2 songs, right? And so right here, I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little better. In between song 1 and song 2, I've got this little thing right here, okay? This is the loop. You see this gray bar up here? So what it's doing is it's looping in nothing. There's no click, there's no track, there's nothing happening right here, so that it's not going to just roll on into the next song when you're not ready for it to. Now, you have to make sure that this is turned on. So right now it's on. If you come up here to to this little button right here. Click it. See, now it's off. See how that line, it's not white anymore? So you always want to make sure that's on if you have it that week. Some weeks we don't have it. And then every flag up here at the top, every flag up here at the top is set to the beginning of each song, okay? So that's pretty much it. You always want to go through with the sound guy, play the tracks, make sure he can hear everything okay. If you have any issues, please don't hesitate to call me.